Moments ago, President Trump posted on Truth Social about Ukraine's President Zelensky following their clash in the Oval Office on Friday. NBC's Garrett Hake joins us now from the White House. Garrett, this doesn't seem to be getting any cooler, does it?
No, I think that's a fair assessment, Jose. Here that you see the president continuing to escalate this feud with President Zelensky, Zelensky had said over the weekend that he thinks the war in Ukraine's end is very, very far away. The president calling this the worst statement that could have been made by Zelensky and suggests that America won't put up with it much longer. Some of this may just be sort of rhetorical heat from the president, whose national security advisor was on television this morning saying the path back to negotiations between the U.S. and Ukraine involves gratitude from Zelensky, something he's already expressed, a willingness to sign the minerals deal, which Zelensky has also said he'd be willing to do, and an apology, which Zelensky says he doesn't think is necessary, but may be required given the personal way in which Donald Trump conducts his diplomacy. And Jose, I'll just add that the president here in this Truth Social post links to a story from the Associated Press, the news outlet currently banned from the Oval Office and Air Force One over its refusal to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, as the Trump administration has demanded. Jose?
And so, Garrett, there were the meetings over the weekend between Zelensky and different European leaders. There was talk of maybe billions of dollars or euros going towards the fight, Ukraine's fight against Russia. Is there any sentiment out of the White House that maybe communication could or will be reestablished with Zelensky?
I think the White House believes the ball is in Zelensky's court to reestablish that communication, and it's not quite clear when. The missing element from at least the president's point of view appears to be an apology from Zelensky for the conduct of that Oval Office meeting. Again, something that Zelensky suggests isn't necessary. You could also see contact resume at a lower level, perhaps the Treasury building behind me where that minerals deal was first worked out.